I'm sure you've all heard of Antonio Gates' story, but have you ever heard of a guy that made it solely to college, tenure in college, based off of basketball highlights alone? No football. It's craziness, right? Let's get it. Let's go.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider. Ravens, Ravens, hey, Ravens. We gon' ride out. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Couch Rider.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat, though. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the home of original sports perspective from our couch to yours. It's your Couch Rider Raven, Jermaine Locke, saying what's happening, what's popping. Hey, if you're new here, please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. Hey, we have a good time here. It seemed like a lot of people came through last week. It was a great time. I think we're going to have a good time this week as well. Cam Root is on the way. Cannot wait to see him. Can't wait to see y'all. Want to see who's in the room before we start with our motivational moments. All right. First person in the room is Delicious, folks. Delicious is in the building. Says, what's up, Couch Rider and Cam and crew? Yes, indeed. Can't wait. Big Reg is here. He says, let's leave the singing to the professionals. Oh, shout out. Just come in the room loaded. Just shooting them. He said, what's good, everybody? All right. Yeah, so we're going to have some fun because we are talking about well, let me get into the motivational moment here, and then I will get into our topic. Motivational moment comes from one of the guys that we will be talking about today. He says, you can come from nothing and take that nothing and turn it into something. Is it this mind-blowing motivational quote? No. But does it have substance? Yes. Because there have been so many times when you can think about your own life where you have been down in the dumps, when somebody has told you that you can't do something or you can't be something or that you are nothing, and you have turned those L's into W's because of the fact that you had the drive, you had the determination, you had the grit. This is a guy who had an amazing story, and I'll tell you about it here in just a second, because Jordan Tolles is one that I really hope that makes this roster. But just know that when you have been given nothing, you got to take something. You got to reach out and figure out what opportunity lays in front of you and reach out and grasp that and build something line upon line, precept upon precept. You have to figure out how you're going to grow from where you have been planted. There have been many times that I've told people in my career, hey, don't wait for something to hit your inbox for you to take that opportunity. You got to go out and get it. If you're hungry enough, go and get it, because nobody's going to give you nothing in this world. That's your motivational moment for today. All right. So, of course, we saw some craziness go on today. And before I'll save that for Cameron when he gets here. Talk about the what the flock moment. But I'm going to just go ahead and jump into it. This dude, I mean, y'all seen it on the intro. Another hidden gem at safety. I want you to think about training camp in general. I want you to think about the offseason after the draft. People have been given opportunities. I said nothing was given to you, but these guys were given a chance. A golden ticket to the Willy Wonka chocolate factory. And what they choose to do with this ticket is on them. Yes, they're in a purple village, but it's not the Willy Wonkersville. But what I'm saying is each one of these guys that are undrafted free agents, they have to paint a picture within the coaches' minds to let them know, like, hey, I'm that guy. I'm the one that you are going to be thinking about tonight as you go ahead and study the tape and review on other players and all the players. Hey, this is the one that y'all need to take an extra look at. The drafted players, most of them have their tickets punched already for to be able to get into the factory and stay in the factory. Some of them are Willy Wonka's little Oompa Loompas running around. But when it comes to it, watch your step. When it comes down to it, nothing's guaranteed when it comes to the other slots, the undrafted spots. When it comes to the undrafted spots, the undrafted free agents, there's no real spot. It's just simply you are a camp body until you're not, until you can convince somebody that you are more than just somebody they brought in just to cut. And we've seen success stories in the past. We've seen Geno Stone work his way up and get paid, end up going over to the daggone Bengals. I'm very frustrated behind that. But to see another guy come up, and like I said, it's just the story is amazing. I want him to grind. He's a former LSU Tiger, went to Morgan State, HBCU player, 6'1", guy runs about a 4.5 40. Jordan Talls, folks. That's what I'm talking about today. So let's see. Ingraven says it's Mahomes or Bateman. Bateman without the goatee. What in the world? Oh, Ingraven's here, y'all. So what's up? What's up, Ingraven? All right. So like I said, Jordan Tolles, this guy is a go away. All right. So anyway, this guy was a 4-star recruit when he became. I mean, he came on the scene coming out of a smaller school. I want to say it was St. Francis. And this is one of these guys who just knew basketball was his track. If you go look on YouTube, you'll see nothing but basketball highlights all over for this gentleman because he just was just that good. He was pretty talented. He just knew that that's the track that he was supposed to be on. In fact, his father was telling him, no, football is not the thing for you because he broke his thumb when he was probably like 8 or 9 years old playing football. And the dad was like, no, absolutely not. You're not playing football again. Basketball is where it's at. This is where you're going to make your money. This is where your career is, son. I'm sorry. That's not where it's at. So he gets to like 8th grade, right? He gets to 8th grade, and the coach, I want to say for St. Francis, comes over to him and says, son, you should play football. He was like, you got some talent. All your friends playing football. And he's like, I got into this before. I played because I was playing with my friends and they was all hanging out doing football things. So I got in and I broke my thumb. So coach is like, no, you need to go ahead and play football. I seen your skills, whatever. He's so excited about the kid. 2 years later, this same coach is showing basketball highlights to Jim Harbaugh, showing basketball highlights to Iowa, to Purdue, he's showing highlights all over the place of this guy playing basketball, saying this is your guy for football, and they're believing. They're like, hey, Jim Harbaugh was like, yeah, I'm on board. I want to see it. And what's funny is he started talking to the kid and got him convinced, like, hey, look, I got you scholarships over here, but it's not for basketball, it's for football, but you got to come out and play. And they had put tentative offers on the table, like, look, you want to come play football for me, son? You can come play football for Purdue. You could come play football. And there was so many power schools that were wanting this guy to come play for them. He ended up going and playing football in his first game. Let me tell you what he did in his first game. First high school game, this dude comes out, pick 6. Second game, first game was 11 tackles, a pick 6, and a fumble recovery for a touchdown. This is high school, folks. Second official game starting, another pick 6. He got 6 D1 offers. 6. I'm going to just pause for a second and y'all let me know what you think. Oh, it was you and your son. Okay, that's how you talking about me and Cameron. It says, y'all look like Mahomes and Bate. Brooke is in the building. What's good? All right. So I'm going back in. So like I said, he got 6 D1 offers, folks, from power schools. He got calls from Jim Harbaugh while he was in high school, and he started a week after learning how to backpedal after two of the starters for his school tore their ACLs. I think they tore them in the same week, which kind of shot him up the depth chart. And that's when he came out, learned how to backpedal. The next week, he scores a pick six and a forced fumble that he recovered for a touchdown. Then, excuse me, he scored a pick and then a fumble recovery for a touchdown. The second game is when he scored the pick six. These are high school highlights I'm going over because when he, of course, after he gets drafted to LSU, or excuse me, when he goes and asks, or he gets recruited to LSU, he goes over there and you know how it is, cream of the crop, folks. It's just there's a lot of competition over there. He was practicing against Jamar Chase. There was a lot more that they wanted out of this guy, but they could not get him, the reps that he needed to be able to be successful. And when he was on the field, it wasn't much there. They said that he had some low ratings when it came to when quarterbacks targeted him. He got a little jumpy, and it was a big scene. It was a bigger, big fish that was in a little pond, and then he gets to LSU, and it's all big fish. And so he had to go ahead and look out for himself and see where he was going to get the reps at. I mean, we saw the same thing happen with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco goes to Pittsburgh or goes to Pitt and realize, hey, look, man, I'm not going to get the reps here. I need to, I'm behind some guy who's not even a star, who wasn't even a starter in this league, and they end up getting drafted. Or I want to say he went to Arizona Cardinals, ended up being not much of anything. And then Joe Flacco goes on to win the Super Bowl. We see how that all ended up because Joe went to a smaller school. Well, you can see that Jordan Toles went from LSU, where he ended up being recruited as a 4-star recruit, to being brought over to Morgan State, and he does pretty well. He scores 3 picks that season. One of them, actually the very first one, in the very first game of his debut, was a pick six. That was his first pick for Morgan State, was a pick six. We don't talk about the score of that game because it got kind of ugly. I don't know what happened there, but things got a little bit out of hand. Hopefully, it wasn't all on him. I might have to go back and watch a little bit more of the tape, but first game, pick six, and then it just kind of went downhill from there. But then he ended up having 2 interceptions in one game. So the other 2 picks came in one game, and that was against Akron, and one of those was a game-stealing pick. So this dude he's really in his bag. When he was in his bag for those moments, those little sparks that it was enough for John Harbaugh and crew to be able to see, hey, this guy's got talent. This is one of the guys that we should bring to this squad. But like I said, basketball was his thing. He'd been playing since 8 years old. And he made his career so far based off of what he was able to do in the gym, in the basketball gym, versus the football field. But I want you to know that this dude he's decently fast. Right now he's mostly on trailing technique, and there's nothing wrong with people doing the trailing technique as long as you can keep up. The second things start to fall off, you might have a small problem, folks. So he signed a 3-year deal with the Ravens, and that 3-year deal, I believe, is going around for, I thought it was for about $7 million, but let me just make sure I got this right. I think we're looking at I think it's a 4 million. Let me go back. Breakdown. Oh, total is $2.8 million. So 3-year, $2.8 million salary, but it's bigger than anything he's ever had in his life, right? It's a big break because of somebody willing to give him a chance. Yeah, does he have to beat out Tennessee? I don't even know if I said that right. It's Kane Tennessee, the draft pick for us. Bo Brady, who's been getting a lot of buzz, and Darius Washington, who has been constantly on the cusp of being on this roster and doing big things. He has a nose for the football, and so there's a lot of people he's got to beat out. Now, of course, we might keep 4 safeties, but there's 6 players competing for spots. So I wouldn't say 6. There's 4 competing for spots because we already know who our top 2 are. So between Brady, Sanderson, Washington, and Tolles, so you want that's going to be one heck of a competition. We don't know exactly how it's going to pan out, but just know that this is a guy. When I go and look at the film on him, he's good with, like I said, with the back pedal. He's good with back pedal. He's good with trailing technique. He is a one of those chance takers. One thing I don't like about him is the arm tackling. He sits there and does the one arm tackling, so he's looking for the big hits. So this is something that's got to be improved upon. You need a guy who's going to wrap up, because as a safety, and in the title of safety, you are the last line of defense. You have to to be there for your team to make sure that you're not getting beat deep and you're not giving up the big plays. Let's see. All right, y'all feel free to chime in anytime you want, but I'll go ahead and tell you comments from Harbaugh. So Harbaugh was asked about him by a reporter on Twitter, and I think I have his comments right here. Nope, but I just was. This is the 50-yard touchdown that Tolles had, and I believe this is versus GS. Okay. So he had a 50-yard touchdown. I believe the quarterback was kind of popped on this one, but he was able to take it back to the house. He got busy on this one. So just know that this is one of those guys who has an eye for the ball. He's opportunistic. He is going to be there as that rangy guy you need to chase down a big. He could be that center fielder that we need. But this is him. It's great to see the HBCU guys, getting a W on this one as far as getting somebody recruited, because you know how hard it is. You know exactly how hard it is. We don't hear about HBCU players coming out much and actually being able to get their shine on. I ain't saying he's on the roster, but I am saying this guy's got enough dog in him to fight. Is anybody here tonight? Y'all in the room? I mean, it's quiet as church mouse in here, man. And I am trying to figure out where Cam Rue is. Anyway, so Harbaugh said, he said his tape is really good. Said he's an instinctive player, has a high level of ability, is what Harbaugh said. Not Jim. I'm talking about John. And then he says he moves the ball. He's a strong guy, big strong guy, and he moves well. So we need a guy that, yes, they're not afraid to play in the box, but ultimately we're looking for that guy who's going to be that backup center fielder and could possibly take the job away. Because, who knows how long that guy's going to be here. We need something for the future. Give me somebody rangy, somebody cheap, so we don't have to go sign a big-time free agent, and we can bring in and build our next Geno Stone. That would be something beautiful to see. Brooke says, I'm here. I appreciate you, Brooke. Everybody else is it's church right now. And they sitting here trying to get in there and they holding up their finger and just like, just I'm just getting placed. I'm getting seated. I don't know where Cam Rue is. I'm gonna send him the link, not only to I sent it to his via text message. I sent it via smoke signal. He says, be on in a second. Maybe a little bit more than a second. Usually I'm like cracking this up there. I usually crack this right about this time, so I got it in. What questions do you have about this kid, man? I think I'm gonna put it all out there, man. I guess one thing y'all didn't know is he started out playing wide receiver. He was a little frustrated because it was in high school. He was just like, "Hey, coach, you wanted me to play for you. I ain't getting no PT, and I started out as a wide receiver, and I'm over here on the bench." And then so of course, unfortunately for those other guys, but fortunately for him, two guys tear their ACLs, and that is how he got his time in high school. And you can actually see a good bit of his high school highlights. It looks like he's a man among boys, I'll be honest. But at the same time, it's like those are highlights, letting you know, like, hey, this is why he ended up being a 4-star recruit, because the tape is there. The tape don't lie. So as you're developing your kids or nephews or like that, just make sure you're putting those highlights together. Because they're not gonna find the lowlights on your kid. Put those highlights there to where people get seen. We've had guys out in Nebraska that were 4-star recruits because they didn't go to these other scouts. They didn't go to the games. They didn't see what I saw. I was looking. I was like, ain't no 4-star recruit. He wasn't even play. He brought it. They got highlights of this guy on Huddle. So he ended up being like a 4-star recruit going to Nebraska. They actually had 3 4-star recruits, and those guys were not that great. They just had really good highlight films. So, just shout out to everybody who's trying to develop your kids. Make sure you get those highlights out there. Brooke said she's gonna take his spot. I think she's talking about Cam Rue and not taking Jordan Toll's spot. So I tell you something that about this kid. One other thing is when he talks, he sounds like a poet. He sounds exactly like he's a poet or something. He's out of Maryland. He's born and raised out of Maryland. I think that's why he ended up leaving LSU and going back to Morgan State. He just wanted to be back home because home had a certain feel about it. He did say LSU outside the stadium had that same kind of raunchy, watch your back type feel, but he said it in a bad way. But that's the same way it reminded him of home. But there's no place apparently like Baltimore and home for him there. All right, Delicious says, I'm still here listening while at work. 11 p.m. can't come quick enough. I look, man, I feel bad for you. You're working this late tonight, man. I appreciate you coming in and listening while you're working. That's amazing. All right, Brooke says, who we talking about? I'm sorry I'm late. I was so lost. All right. Jordan Tolles. He's a safety. He's a safety out of HBCU, Morgan State, but he used to play for LSU as well as the guy that we're talking about right here. And, as we know, like when it came to the draft, we weren't overwhelmed with our draft pick at safety. I mean, Kane Sonosu, okay, that was one of the picks, but we knew that there was going to be more undrafted free agents with opportunities. This is the golden ticket for these guys. And you're going to see, I have to do some studying on Bo Brady as well, because a lot of people are just chiming in about Bo Brady and how great he is. But I really think this is going to be one heck of a competition of Brady versus Jordan. And I ain't talking about Mike and Tom. But when it gets to camp, it's going to be one heck of a battle. Bruce says, okay, I'm caught up. All right. So, yes, it's going to be one heck of a battle because, look, this is a guy who's hungry. He is extremely hungry. And there's an interview on YouTube. And maybe I'll put the link in the description, but amazing story, humble guy. But at the same time, he was looking for those opportunities and wasn't willing to just settle as the 4th or 5th guy on the depth chart, especially when he got an extra year of college due to COVID and it looked like he was redshirted, but he wasn't. And it's just one of those guys like you want to root for. You like Geno Stone back today. You wanted to root for Geno. You wanted Geno to be that guy because in the preseason you constantly saw him ball hawking, and then in the regular season he's doing it, and he's not even at the top of the depth chart. He was doing it. So this is another guy that you just want to really root for big time. All right, what questions do you have before we get into the next topic here? And if camera don't pop on, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna end it a little early tonight because I have a long day ahead. But let's see. Next topic: Pat Queen. Pat Queen. What is this dude's deal? All right, he. I have never seen such a crybaby. Have we seen? I don't think we've seen a crybaby like this. Like since in basketball, maybe. I mean, Durant was pretty much a crybaby. He would fight with everybody back and forth all over Twitter. Could make up fake Twitter profiles just to go back and forth with people and agree with himself. But Queen has been just straight up disrespectful to the flock, as if they did not give him an opportunity. He was a full on jerk about everything, and he decides to just go off on a few tangents on Twitter. Let's see if I got those. So here is Pat Queen. He says, on leaving the Ravens for the Steelers, it's a better atmosphere for me. Everybody is cool. The people are cool. The players are cool. The food spots are better. You taking a shot at Baltimore now, the city of Baltimore. He said, I'm more of a true food guy than rather a seafood guy. It's just a better atmosphere for me here. Like people of Baltimore, if y'all need to go ahead and take that ride and go ahead and bust old boy up, you do what you got to do. I understand. He took a shot at you as a city. He took a shot as you and your food. And I love Baltimore food. I love me some crab cakes, man. I don't care what they say. Crab cakes there is better than anybody else. Now, maybe he needs to learn how to develop his palate to accept the seafood in his life. Disrespectful. Absolutely. 100% disrespectful. All right, next thing. Brooks says I was just about to mention him. Yeah, he just butthurt. And yeah, Cam Rue's out here taking time off whenever he wants. You know what? I feel you. I feel you. I don't know. I don't know where he at, man. But we moved the show. Somebody get him. You know what? As a matter of fact, just for Cameron, I need everybody in the room to go ahead and give him the skippity paps, give him the hands, the slaps, so that he can receive those when he gets into the room. Because he deserves it. This is 26 minutes late. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, Burke says nobody. Queen and another thing. Ravens cursing. Yep. All types of curse words. She found every cursing emoji it is in there. And then Brooke says he sure be fishing a lot to not like seafood. He's fishing in them tweets. Big Red said the man don't like seafood. I don't either. So what? But it's just like, bruh, like why come at the city like that? Why say so many things are better? You are the first LSU player that the Ravens had drafted. The first one. And we gave you a chance to be great, and we got you the coaching and the players to put next to you for you to be great, and you taking shots at the people who fed you. You bit the hand that fed you. Now it's time to go to war. It's time for full on chop blocks. It's time for cheap shots. It's time for blind sides. Pat, you going down, my boy. You going down. Brooke came through with the skibbity paps. The skibbity pap for Cameroon. We'll hold that hand right there. Appreciate you. Delicious says, not gonna lie, PQ starting to be annoying. Shaking my head. He better perform the same way he did last season, if not better, because he reverts back to the old PQ. Pittsburgh is going to eat him alive. So here's the thing, folks. Pat Queen got the green dot. And we know that he didn't handle the green dot here because they thought Chuck was better at it. Then all of a sudden, Roquan comes through and they give him the green dot because they knew that Pat Queen played better free. And when I say free, I mean being able to run around with no real thoughts. There was no real cerebral thoughts going on. It's just like, hey, hit that hole. That's exactly where Coach wanted me to hit that joint. I'm going in here, guns blazing, don't care. We know Pat Queen's like his weaknesses were tackling in an open field and being able to be that green dot holder and be cerebral. We know those are the two things that he could not do. So tackling open space was a major problem, and also being smarter to be able to hold that green dot. Now he's going to be able to do that in Pittsburgh. We don't know how that's going to turn out, but we also know when he was in charge of the middle of the defense, that things worked a little differently when he was working in the wheel versus the mic. So that could be an issue. Brooke has said, Cam, you were fired. I don't know if that's true or something like that. We have to check with the producer. We'll see. Big Red says, yeah, definitely emotional, but let that be his distraction during the season. Yes, let him tweet all he wants all week long. We can go ahead and get him out of his game. My game say it'd be crazy. Let's see. Brooke says, my thing is, if you miss us, just say that. He stayed coming at us unprovoked. I think is like if he wanted to just, I don't know, block everybody, he could do that already. He's just going back and forth, just acting a fool. All right, so I hadn't done this in a while. So I think what we'll do is jump into the what the flock and do a little screen share and have some fun with it until Cameron gets here. That's what we want to show. All right, here we go. We are going down and checking out the nonsense that's going on in here. Well, here we go already. Sticking it to his prediction that the Ravens will win it all. Okay, Skip. I see you, Skip. Look, I ain't mad at him. Look, Skip always, he likes to be the bad guy, and I don't mind him speaking to the Ravens, just like he did last year. He said he said we were going to win it all last year, and we should have. We should have. That was our own fault. That was our coaching, and they didn't stick to the game plan that they should have stuck to. That's fine. People clapping for it. I like it. Nobody care about this. Thanks for checking the starting lineups. Let's see. They did some personnel changes here. So then there's Happy Birthday, Roger Rose Garden. So if y'all happen to see Roger, y'all make sure y'all give him a shout out. Are they talking bait? What they say about bait? Oh, that's right. First round cornerback Nate Wiggins says, bait's the hardest one to hold. So base routes is on point. Maybe it was something to, he's Batman, right? Batman works alone, right? I mean, of course, until Robin comes along. But I'm just saying, Batman usually likes to work alone. Bateman usually works in his offseason alone. So hopefully this is the opportunity for him to step up big time. And honestly, I'm fortunate. We are fortunate right now. Because did you see a $34 million contract come out today? And I'm saying $34 million per year to Justin Jefferson. Whew. I'm glad we don't have to pay that. I'm glad we got a guy who's a pretty crisp route runner who can get the job done. Of course, we know what we are as far as an offense. We just don't target those wide receivers like we used to. Or excuse me, no, we've never really targeted wide receivers. We are ground running offense. We know this. But those outside wide receivers don't get that. They don't get that ball that much. And Bates still, I'll be honest with you, he's going to get production. But when you got Mandrews, you got Likely, and you got Zay, Bate is that fourth option. He's going to get some work, and it's going to be some valuable chain movement, but he is not going to be this electric all-world Justin Jefferson type wide receiver because we're not going to give him the targets for it. He's going to get some targets, but he ain't going to get as many as Zay, and he ain't going to get as many as Andrews. What you want to do about it? He probably going to ask for a trade by week 9, but you know what? We got him for cheap right now, and we can be blessed that we didn't have to pay out that big old fee to have him on the squad. Oh man, guess who's here? He's here. I just got to get him on the scene. I'm not sure what's happening there. All right, so Delicious says, I'm not mad that he said the atmosphere was better because the year 3 Ravens was definitely interested in other linebackers, but was playing underperforming. LOL, we passed on and got a lot of good wide receivers for him. Okay. Verse says, I like Harbaugh, but he's on thin ice with me next season. I'm not defending him no more if he doesn't get his coaching staff under control. I mean, they keep coming and going. They get hired. Brooke, what you want them to do? There's a couple of them to get hired, a couple of them get fired. You're in and out. It's just a constant rotating thing, a carousel going on with his coaching staff. And that's not his fault. That's just how the nature of the beast is. You do good, you get your team completely rooted as far as your coaching staff. You do bad, then you don't know exactly who you need to fire. And you got to figure out who I'm going to fire, who I'm going to keep on here, and where's the actual root of the problem. Let's see. Bruce says the Bengals are stressed after that contract came out today. Yeah, because the pressure's on because Higgins gonna want that money, and then Jamar see that he like, hey, say fan, hey, ditto. Let me get that. Big Red says Nate Wiggins from Clemson. He can't really cover anyway. You disrespectful. That's just straight up disrespectful. I think this guy's got a lot of heart. He's one of the top cover corners out there, according to Harbaugh. I feel like it's going to be fun to watch him. I ain't gonna say lockdown, but it's gonna be fun watching him using the shadow technique with the amount of speed that he has, because then he can use that speed to make some big things happen. And he don't give up on plays, man. That's what I like about him. He just don't give up. He plays through the whistle and just keeps going. And him and Zay, they matching each other's speed in camp or in a little OTAs, man. That's cool. All right, Alicia says, I'm a big Harbaugh fan, but if we don't get done this season, we shoot ourselves in the foot again due to bad decisions. He has to go. Y'all ready to fire the man already? Did the lunch break hot take crew just sneak in here You know how they always want to fire somebody left and right, man. They stay trying to fire somebody. Hey, look, they was in the off season thinking about, all right, who should we have them? Who should we fire today? Is that equipment staff over there? Did he just fold that staff? Did he fold that towel the wrong way? He gone, bro. Fire him. Talk about it on the show. We gonna fire somebody tonight. I love my boys, but they definitely want somebody fired. They want Harbaugh gone at every chance. All right. So Brooke is saying, no, I mean his OC only running 6 times and we had to run more. So your coaching staff is just ignoring you now. I think the game plan, they got away from the game plan. And I don't know why, because honestly, it wasn't necessarily a shootout that they could have been in. They'd have just stuck to the ground game, they still would have been in the game. But it is what it is. It's just they definitely got away from what they were supposed to do. They know that. They know that. I mean, we can chew them all off season, and we could be butthurt about it. But I think they recognize, like, all right, we can't get emotionally tied into this game plan. But I mean, it's a game of emotion when it comes to coaching. You're looking at the situation like, hey, I should go stroke for stroke when you shouldn't go stroke for stroke. Sometimes you got to bob and weave. All right. Delicious says, imagine those Higgins, and we imagine they lose Higgins and Chase. Ooh, they definitely saying who because they don't know who they playing with. All right. Big Red says Harbs is a trash coach. This man has won a Super Bowl. You got to cut him some slack. He just got us to the AFC Championship too. I know we get into this conversation about Harbaugh or Lamar. I mean, I think the same thing I think about with the Tom Brady and the Bill Belichick. A lot of people can argue this, but they together were a great combination. Things worked out well because they worked well together. I don't know what happened to Cameroon. He was in here a second ago, and then he bounced out. Pull myself off the screen right quick. Okay. So anyway, so like I'm saying, it's like he was Belichick and Brady, they worked well together because Brady built a system. Belichick built a system that worked for what they were trying to do with those wide receivers that he had brought in, the interior ones and the tight ends and the running back. So basically, he had an out route built into dang near every play for the running back to come out of the backfield, a slant, and then skitty seams. And Brady could use that to his best of his ability. And we saw what he could do once he got down to Tampa Bay and he was in a different system. He was able to launch it a little bit more and use those outside wide receivers because they were just big boys who can go up and get it. Won a championship based off of that. But what I'm saying when it comes to Lamar and Harbaugh, we can't say it's all Lamar and Harbaugh's trash. We had to realize when it comes to the L's and the W's, this is a combination of them both, and along with Todd Monken, because of the fact that all this goes into the game planning, it goes into personnel usage, everything. It boils down to Harbaugh. It boils down to Lamar. Lamar has the ability to audible out of some of those plays to make runs. Lamar also threw some ill-advised passes in that game. Lamar also had an offensive line who caused him a fumble. So there's a lot that goes into that L. We can't just say Harbs is a trash coach. Think about it reasonably, folks. Let's see. Burke says, Dre would cry laughing. I don't think they're that dumb, though. Let's see what, did I get a message from Cameroon? Nothing. I don't know. He was in and then he came out. I'm not sure what happened there. Burke says, I love Harbaugh. You know I do. But he the coach. Act like it. Okay. That's some tough love right there. You know, I'm going to be on the Harbaugh protection team too much, but dang, okay, I'll take it. What y'all going to do if we fire Harbaugh anyway, man? Yeah, like we could go and we could be one of the top contenders in the league. And then Harbaugh leaves and we hire somebody else. And then what it could be? What could it be? We could go down into the dark years again. We don't know. I'd rather be with the enemy we know versus the one we don't. What'd you say? You said Harbs and LJ are definitely a great duo. I agree. And speaking of great duos, my other half of the duo is here, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend, the myth, Busy man. Cameron.
My bad, bro. I don't know what's going on. My internet keep going in and out. Probably because somebody crashed into the pole earlier. So
Uh,
I don't know
somebody
what's going
crashes to the
on. It keeps
pole.
saying I'm on the computer. It keeps saying make sure your mic and your internet is make sure that you're connected to the internet. And I'm like, it's saying full all bars. I have no idea, bro. I
Oh,
apologize.
we hear you loud and clear, man.
Yeah, but I have to do it from my phone. Like I can't even get on. I can't literally. Everything keeps freezing off and on, like on my phone. I mean, on the computer. So I was like, let me just go on the phone, man. I apologize. Go ahead, finish talking, brother.
Oh, so yeah, we talking about. Well, Brooke brought up fire Harbaugh. I told her I was like, look, you've been hanging around the lunch break hot take too much because they want to fire everybody. So,
For what reason though? Why are we firing Harbaugh now?
no, she's
Why?
mad about it. She's still hurt about the game plan for the AFC Championship.
Well, you gotta let go of the past, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, it's
Shit.
the past. I got
What
pull.
you
You
gonna
gotta
do
pull
now?
on. Where's Rafiki when we need him? And just bop her over top of the head with a stick or whatever. It's the past.
It's the past, exactly. Gotta let go of the past.
Yeah.
Boy,
But they
you
all kind of hopped on. Big Reg is saying that Harbaugh's just trash. And then Big Reg says, what did Harbs do after he lost that Hall of Fame roster he had? It was a really good roster last year. I wish that we could have hit the reset button like Nintendo and started all over again with that same roster, or at least get to run that back type of deal.
look.
But you know how it is. These players, they want their money, and they know that because of this previous performance, they were able to get a little stack the chips a little bit more.
I hear PQ's lighting more fuel to the fire. He talking slick.
Oh yeah, you talk so he
Yeah,
out there just constantly running his mouth right now. But I think it's because he recognizes the decision that he made was not the right one, but he's trying to defend it by saying a whole bunch of dumb stuff. This man said, "What did he say? Oh, I wanted to get on a team that had an opportunity to win."
right.
I'm like, wait a minute, the Steelers hadn't won a playoff game since 2016. How does that houseway?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Houseway.
I
You
feel
gotta make some
like
sense. You taking less money to go someplace where
that,
are you really in a better position?
they don't even know who their starting quarterback is right now.
Mhm. I don't know. I mean, I don't understand why he didn't just go to Seattle.
Yeah, he could have went over there. We wouldn't have had no problems. Would have been good. He'd have been with with another piece of the team. We'd have completely understood. If he had went to Los Angeles, we'd have been like, hey, you know what? He just fallen to Harbaugh. Understandable. You decided to take your services inside the AFC North is just absolutely
But
disrespectful. You were off the Christmas list.
but they the thing about if he went to the Chargers or if he went to Seattle, they running the same defense, so it's nothing he had to learn. They running the same system.
I think
Why would you go someplace you gotta? I mean, it's still football, but you taking it. I don't know. I'm not understanding the decision. I don't know. I have no idea.
yeah.
I don't know.
Big
I
Red
believe it's
asked us, how do we
it's a little bit
feel?
of setback. There's something behind it.
You got another connection popped into the room? I just seen that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get on the computer, so
Okay.
if it starts to feedback, I'll mute it. Hey, oh, calm down, calm down, calm down.
All right, cool. I'll add one and
We
all
here.
right. We here, baby. All right. So Big Red says, how do we feel about Mike McCarthy?
How we feel about it? I don't know. I ain't no Cowboy fan. How we feel about it?
Yeah, I didn't really have a thought on Mike McCarthy. I thought, okay.
Why we trying to get? I don't understand. Every year we try to get rid of Hobbs for what?
Oh, wait a minute. He wants to hire Mark? No, absolutely. What is wrong with no, but we sticking what we got.
He's not better than Harbaugh. I don't look. We had two losing seasons with Harbaugh, I believe, and that's when everybody got hurt.
Mhm.
We didn't make the playoffs every year with him since that Hall of Fame, you know, team left. But hey, we got one ring with him. The following year we went 8-8. The other
We got
year
somebody new in the room.
playoffs.
Dricus Robinson. So who's the hidden gem at safety? Oh, okay. Well, You probably need to go back and watch because we did go through it. We did go through it. It was Jordan Tolles, but go look at it, man. Go listen to the first, let's say, first 20 minutes of the show, and I kind of just go into it and talk about how great this guy is and what an amazing story he is. But thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down, my friend. And just join us for fun, man. Just have some fun to talk some trash in the room. Say hey to everybody because they'll say hey back to you. Y'all say what's up to Tydrikas.
Do I think who's trash? I don't know. Do I think who's trash?
Who's trash? What do you say? Who's trash?
I was looking at what Reg was saying. Do I think?
Oh, McCarthy. So
I don't know. I don't think he's great. Like there's no coach out there that I think is like. It's always it always comes down to the players, you know. So it's so.
Yeah, let's just say average.
Like unbelievable. Other than right now is Andy Reid. I mean, and that y'all got to remember when he's in Philly, they were good, but they weren't like world beaters. Like right now, Kansas City look like world beaters, but that's because sometimes you get a one-on-one.
Sometimes it's just about the message that you're able to bring to the team. I think I said this a few times before. When it comes to NFL rosters, as you come up the ranks in coaching, you do your thing as an offense coordinator because you're focusing on only those guys on the offensive side of the ball. When you're a defense coordinator, you're focusing on that side of the ball. But when you are a head coach, you are a manager and motivator of men.
Right.
And it's a very difficult task to manage a whole bunch of millionaires and get them on board in the same direction. Strategy is going to come out from those play callers that you got, those offense coordinators and those defense coordinators and the quarterback. It's a collective effort. But the coaching strategy is one of trust, it's one of management, it's one of motivation, it's one of inspiration, and it's one of a message that has to stay fresh. You notice Harbaugh, he digs into the scriptures in order to keep his message his message fresh. Excuse me. He digs into the scriptures. He uses props. He's using ways to motivate them, like taking them to Top Golf, having ice cream Wednesdays. Different things to keep his guys motivated and ready and focused on winning. And that takes a really good person to be able to do that. Those guys who get it wrong are the guys that like Singletary. Singletary was an amazing player, but Singletary was pulling his pants down at halftime because he couldn't motivate the guys. He was taking his star players and benching them and putting them in the locker room because he couldn't motivate his guys. Harbaugh has stuck around longer than Brian Billick has because his message hasn't gotten stale.
Not just that, but you look at how many players left Baltimore and said like they love being here because the culture is really good. Everybody that comes here is just like it's different, man. He lets you be yourself.
Pat Queen is the only one who said, some places better or something,
Who?
Pat Queen.
He said what?
This is what Pat Queen said today. Let me pull it up.
He said Pittsburgh better than Baltimore?
Yeah, he said it's a better atmosphere here for me. Everybody is cool. The people are cool. The players are cool. The food spots are better. I'm more of a true food guy rather than a seafood guy. It's just a better atmosphere for me here.
He gotta say what. What is he supposed to say?
Say, hey, man, I got a lot of love for Baltimore, but I am gelling well in this environment.
No. It's always better when the check is cut. It's always better.
He's just like, take that Baltimore check.
I don't see I don't know why he's doing all these jabs. It don't matter. Like, you better about something. Like, of course but you gotta look at your play. You gotta look at his play. Like, I got a feeling. I'm gonna tell you, I'm just quite honest. I'm telling you right now, Trenton Simpson gonna be twice as good as Patrick Queen. I don't know if anybody agree with me or not, but I'm putting my bid in right now.
When you look at the tail of the tape, the guy is taller, faster.
Regardless of that, he's played defense all his like since high school. He got recruited to Clemson as a safety. They
Mhm.
moved him to linebacker. So he's already he's faster. He
Mhm.
knows how to cover better, and he's rangy. So he's
And
another
he's gonna be a cheat code on Madden this year. I already know it.
huh? Oh
So
yeah,
he's gonna be a cheat code on Madden.
he got cheat codes on that defense, but you know, I
Yeah,
don't
so like, oh, when it comes to Madden, as long as you have like a guy like him running in the middle of your defense, you can do anything you want to do. Like you can basically destroy teams left and right if you got a fast linebacker, and he is super fast.
Queen is he being petty right now, so let him be
Yeah,
petty. Nobody.
yeah. Brooke agrees. She said Queen doesn't mean none of that. He's
Yeah, you
just
know,
salty.
yeah, he petty. He being petty. He good. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think he just hurt. I think he just felt like he'd probably get a better. I mean, I just think he made a dumb decision, and I think he's trying to defend that decision right now. And Ravens Nation ain't hear none of it. We pissed and we going off. Let's see here. Delicious says, I want to know why it's so many Ravens fans praising Mike Tomlin.
Hold on,
When's the last time he won a playoff game? That was 2016.
hold on. Go back to Reg. Reg said something about no. I don't think any. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But good. It says this the one, right?
Yeah,
He says, Dre, y'all ignoring the fact that McCarthy and Harbaugh have the same number of wins and Super Bowl wins.
I'm not ignoring it. I just don't see why he's. I don't think he's better, or I don't. I don't. I don't. I'm not judging the dude, like, but I don't think he's better than what we have. Like,
Like
you gotta tell me.
McCarthy had he
I,
had two guys that were like,
that's my opinion. Sorry.
yeah, and he had Aaron Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers is phenomenal. Like Rodgers compared to Joe Flacco. I mean, both of them got rings, but Rodgers was that dude in the regular season and the playoffs,
Yeah.
and Mr. MVP left and right. Joe was only good for one solid performance in the or two solid performances in the postseason. One of them, both of them, he should have been in the Super Bowl in. But his regular season stats were absolute dog water,
He only made,
except for the 2014 season.
and the only time he was a Pro Bowler was the Kubiak year.
Yeah, it's because they called somebody else was like, "Hey, Joe, we down to like our fifth starter. Can you come on out?"
But that was his best numbers, though. That year was his best numbers. I don't have nothing against McCarthy. I just don't. I mean, you might
He
as
had a lot more to work with. He had.
McCarthy, Sean Payton, Harbaugh, they all had the same. They all got one ring.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that we've only had two bad seasons with Hobbs. Truly, two bad seasons. I mean, we
I
didn't.
mean, then he had Jordy Nelson, man. Come on, man.
Uh,
He had Jordy Nelson back
they,
then.
they always had receivers. You talking about
Like
great?
he had a whole lineup of dogs he could just throw to. Without who do we have?
I don't know. I like our culture. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I like Hards, man. They always trying to throw Hards up the river, man. You take 1 week off and they listen to the daggone lunch break hot take, and they all poisoned, and they all want to fire everybody. Everybody's Vince McMahon in this room right now. You're fired.
Shout out to lunch break.
Wow. All right, let's see. Hydrika says Trenton Simpson is already better than Pat Queen. I mean, of course, he still got to put down some more work. But yeah, I mean, we're hoping that yes, he's going to break through and go past where the ceiling was of Pat Queen in Baltimore. So, and we're hoping that.
Second team All Pro.
Yeah. And then Big Red says, yet he's only got one Super Bowl, just like John. Sorry, I've got to remove this off the screen. Just trying to stop this from going. Okay. Brooks says, so you want to replace Harb with Harb, is what you're saying, Reg. Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Okay.
Hold on, what?
Like you want to replace him with the same thing that we got already, because I think we're all saying the same thing, that Harbaugh and McCarthy, they can be just as good as the other. And one can be just as good as the other. They have different tails, but one can be just as good as the other. And Brooks saying, okay, we don't want to replace the same thing with the same thing. I'm not going to go over here and replace, taco, taco, was it beef tacos, the chicken tacos on taco night, because I mean, they both were equally good to me. That's still tacos. Yeah.
But this is a discussion.
All right. DeGrasse says, "No, I don't want McCarthy at all. I think he's below average, and him and Harv's on the same level." Okay. Rodriguez says, "If Harv's had Aaron Rodgers, he would have 2 rings or 3 rings in the early or the later
I
20s." Huh?
don't. I mean, it's not like we got to remember football ain't basketball, so we got to. I don't know. Everybody always saying we got one person or one person. I'm not trying to, you know.
I think if they would have probably,
I'm
if
just
we had Aaron Rodgers there besides Joe,
Aaron
like say
Rodgers.
2015 time frame, they would have probably put more effort into getting a wide receiver.
I mean, it was 15. I don't think so either. Bro, we haven't changed. The wide receiver thing just started changing because of EDC. So that
But
was
that was a
then.
Newsom
I
thing.
don't know. It doesn't matter. Like we could say that if Aaron was here, we'd probably have more. But then again, you got to look at it too. Like, what's their year after the year they won the Super Bowl? They had a better team the following year. They went 15-1 and then got bounced in the playoffs. Like it's a team. Football is truly a team effort. That's why I do love the game for that reason. It takes
Mhm.
all 11 to win the game. It's never going to be one person, even though like maybe the coach may get all the accolades or the quarterback gets all the accolades when you win or when you lose, but it's still a team effort. It takes everybody.
Rivera says the point he's making is that Harv's is getting more credit than he deserves. Harv's been getting roasted since the
It's,
AFC Championship, but it's not just on him.
it's opinion based, bro. I mean, everybody. Some people don't like Hall. Some people like him. I like him. I like him because of what he stands for. I mean, and I like the culture that we have since we had all those legends leave. Like we finally got a quarterback that's like worthy of being talked about amongst everybody else. We've never
Yeah.
had a quarterback that great before. On top of that, yes, we've had two of the most amazing seasons ever under this quarterback. Have we got the chip yet? No, but I'm sure that's going to happen.
Yeah, it's coming, man. The thing is
Yeah,
one thing I know that's not gonna happen is a three-peat for the daggone Chiefs. that is
I hope not.
that's for sure.
I hope not.
That's for
Oh,
sure. I'm putting my foot down. This is as all wait, where are our put the foot down people? Where they at? We're missing the girls. Where the girls at?
Huh?
We're missing our girls who put their foot down when they say that something's gonna happen.
Oh, Lisa not here. She ain't
Yeah,
doing
I'm like, where Lisa at? And where was who's the other one? I can't remember. Both of them they had that same mentality. Like, hey, I'm putting my foot down. This is happening. We are not letting the Chiefs get a three-peat. It's not happening. I'm sorry. All right. So Burke says, Dre, the Cowboys have definitely had elite offenses with him. They've had it, they just don't have the clutch moments. And that's a Dak thing. That's a Dak and that's a I mean that's an all together thing, but it's a Dak thing though.
Dak Prescott ain't Lamar. He gonna stop acting like he Lamar. He not Lamar. He don't deserve the credit that Lamar gets.
No. I mean he has arm
He's
talent. We know he's got arm talent.
what?
But can he make those clutch plays when he's supposed to make them clutch plays?
Maybe. Look, we play this year. We see what it is. I I,
Mhm.
I don't I don't know. I just ain't gonna throw nobody. Look, man, it's like this when it comes to it. We can fight amongst each other. If somebody on the outside say something bad about Hobbs, I'm gonna have some problems with him. So you know, it is what it is. Everybody, y'all got your opinion. Everybody don't like Hobbs. I like Hobbs. Some people may not like him. It's cool. I just like what he's standing for as a man and what he tries to give. What he tries to give the players on and off the field, and then on top of that, you can tell it stands for something because players that have left always talk about how things were. You don't get that type of love other places like you get in Baltimore. Like they want you to feel like you still in college. That had that college atmosphere. They want you to feel like you're a family. That's why everybody's so close. And
Mhm.
I appreciate that. Like Marlon talks about it all the time. He's like, I don't want to go no place else. You know, so
Yeah. Dude, so I was just scrolling through the feed on the We Are the Ravens flock, and check this out. I mean, maybe I'll just share this one before we go, because this is something else. It's something I did not know as I was looking up stuff on him. If you look here, it says this guy,
Who, who's this?
he's only allowed one touchdown over 900 defensive snaps played.
Who's this?
That's insane.
Who's this?
TJ Tampa.
Yeah, you know that?
I did not.
Yeah.
I think that's somebody we need to go. I need to go ahead and look into a little bit more as well, and maybe we'll discuss his story because I was able to find so much on Jordan Tolles. I want to dig deep and find a lot on TJ Tampa because if this is a guy that's got Sauce Gardner type of sauce, I'm looking forward to seeing him ball out as well.
We definitely got some future pieces there, and hopefully, they pan out.
These people arguing in the chat right now. Let's see. Big Red says, as a man, Harv seems like a great guy, but as a coach, not so much. I think it takes a measure of both to be that guy that the team needs, man. Got to be a great man and a good coach. Brooks says, I love Harbaugh. I wasn't trying to start a bash fest. I usually defend him endlessly. I just think he needs to realize he's the coach at times he forgets.
What made Brooke? I wasn't here, so what made her bring up Bob's anyway?
I don't know. I think she was just, she was cooking the mac and cheese, and then she got all emotional about thinking about that championship.
Somebody said something about her not making no baked macaroni and cheese. That's what it was, Brooke? That's what it was?
I think that's what it was.
That's what it was, Brooke.
Oh, yeah. Lord. Delicious says, that's what I'm saying, Brooke. Harv's probably had two offenses that was as good as some of the Cowboys' offenses in 2019 and 2023. But the thing is even with what he has been given in the bad stuff, he has still managed to get us into the playoffs, man.
Man, look, I'm not going to say nothing bad about Hobbs. I won't say nothing bad about even Mike Tomlin. Like, those are the two coaches that I think have motivated with less and done more. Both times, without like even the years we didn't have like the years like everybody got injured when we had what's the guy that passed away. Even though we went like 6-9, 6-10 that year, it's just that everybody kept fighting. Even when we had nobody, everybody was on the injury list. Even the year when Lamar went down, we still had an opportunity to get in the playoffs. They still fighting. Like that's when you know somebody believes in your coach and they believe in the organization. They keep fighting. So I don't see nobody laying down. I mean, again,
and we constantly talk about this. We said this a million times. The second we release Harbaugh, he's going to a team. He's going to make that team a winner. And am I saying they're going to get a championship? No, but I don't know. But that team is instantly going to be a winner. And then our future is undetermined. We don't know exactly what we're getting and what it's going to be.
Zach Gore going to be our next head coach. Put that in the books, yo.
Right. I just want to see him focus on what he's got right now because I don't know what this defense is going to be with him.
Zach going to be it's going to be the best defense we had since Marvin Lewis.
I'm nervous, bro.
I ain't
gonna lie. I am nervous. You tell me like this, we got these coaches who have been coaching for years and they've been learning schemes. They've developed their playbooks. They know exactly how to get down, what to get down. And this guy has played and he's coached two positions. And now he's our defense coordinator. I'm nervous, bro. I like the guy. I loved how he played.
He's first of all, every coach has said he's super smart. He was even when Wink said he was super smart. He was a second team All Pro. You went right from there. He went right in there. Right after that, went right to interning as a coach and becoming a linebacker coach. You coached. If it wasn't, I honestly believe if it wasn't for him, Pat Queen wouldn't be as good as he is.
No, I think he unlocked Pat Queen. I think that's a position. That's not the whole defense. You know what I mean?
What's the name? If we didn't hire him, McDonald's gonna hire him.
Yeah.
because he knows how good he is. He wanted to hire him. So
Yeah. I guess I mean, I don't know.
I'm
I get nervous kind of looking at you're looking at the resume, right? And the resume speaks like I know the game because I played the game, but does that translate all the time as players and coaches, players to coach?
but it's not like he just got there as a coach. He knows how to coach. Now he just playing. He just gotta call plays like he was calling plays when he was out on the field. He'll be fine. He damn right he gonna be great. Right.
They asked about Tony. She said, "Y'all see Tony Jefferson is probably trying out for the Chargers. I mean, it doesn't shock me. Another Harbaugh gives him an opportunity. He's going to take it. He's got familiarity with other players on the other coaches on that staff, and of course, other players too. So it's basically Baltimore West. We know that. Tony could, he still could get an opportunity here as well. I mean, there's still open opportunities. Like I said, with the guys that I'm looking at to back up our two starters. I mean, it's Kane Sanusi, Bo Brady. I don't know if I said Sanusi's name right. And Darius Washington. Tony could come in there, and as long as he's showing decent speed, because that was Tony's problem, was being able to track that ball deep or track those players deep. Then he could do well here.
He'll be here if he plays. He'll be here.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, we are sitting here at an hour and 6 seconds. Excuse me, an hour and 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can beat Bray. I'm gonna beat her to it. I'm gonna beat her to it.
Bro,
boom! I got it. I won. I win, Brooke. You late, girl. You late.
Taking too long, bro.
Yep. Too busy worried about that mac and cheese on the stove.
Unbelievable.
Oh well. Hey, so next week we'll probably jump into another position group. I'm thinking tight ends. I think we probably just go into the tight ends. Of course, we know about the top two, but maybe we take a deeper look at Charlie and just see what Charlie's got to offer. Talk about the braided hair because he definitely had his hair all braided out, gangster. And we'll just get into some tape on him and talk about his story because he's probably got a unique one as well. But as always, you got us falling off the couch. We continue to appreciate the love that is shown every single week to us. You got us constantly just knowing like, hey, look, man, y'all showing us love and you want to continue to show us love. All you got to do is hit the like button. We got all these people in the room. Please hit that like, hit the subscribe. Brooke saying she won. It's not true. We can go back to the tape on that one.
But, saying the delay. I don't know.
She's like, it's an 8-second delay. I slowed up on that one too.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So y'all make sure y'all come back through. Like I said, next Monday, same time. Actually, no. Sorry. I'm in Louisiana.
This man be disappearing on me, y'all. That's why I don't know what to do no more.
I gotta go
support.
Shout out to Mom. It's Mom's birthday. Mom's birthday.
All right, you gotta handle your business.
Yeah, I gotta go to Louisiana. And we got a comedian. For her. It's gonna be so cool.
Happy birthday to Mom.
Yeah, man. So we'll be doing that. I might be able to still do the show maybe on Wednesday. But we'll see. See. I'll let y'all know. I'll make sure I put a message out on Twitter and everything else. So with that said, we appreciate y'all coming through. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, and smack that bell so you know when it's going down. And just like I said, thanks again. Appreciate y'all coming through. Y'all have a good night. We say 2 claps. Fade to black.
Peace.
Introducing the Couch Rider Raven Report. Let's go. Ravens. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out. Couch Rider. We gon' ride out.
For some of you Twitter gangsters, this is just a hobby, original sports perspective. You can't stop me. Couch Rider Report, it's reflective. Please respect it. You will get checked, and your knowledge will be tested. I ain't the coldest Raven, but this is my show. Shout out to the Barry White of rap for the beat.